We'll start the meeting in about 4 minutes.
Well, no, I was there.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, good to see you. How are you? Yeah. Okay.
All right, folks, Go ahead and call the meeting to order. January 15th, 2026, Pulaski County Republican Committee. We're going to move around the agenda a little bit. I'll try to due to some time constraints we have, but we're going to go ahead and start off with the invocation. Kay, get that? Bow your heads.
Let me just read a Bible verse. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. It's Proverbs 14:34. So let's go to the Lord in prayer. Father God, we come before you tonight as a group of Americans, Arkansans, and we all love our country, we all love our nation. We find ourselves in a divided nation right now, and it seems as though it's more and more divided. And we as believers in you should be doing our part to try to unify and not sow strife. That's not always easy to do, and we certainly ask for your forgiveness for our shortcomings in that task. But God, we acknowledge you, and we are a people that believes that returning to your ways is what's most important out of all of these things. So we do that by supporting a party that is not in favor of abortion. And we take conservative stands in this party. So we just ask that your blessings would be upon us tonight, on our nation. Protect our leaders, give them wisdom, and put fair hearts and thoughts in their minds. We lift your name on high. It's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. Right, so Dale Custer to lead the Pledge of Allegiance.
We pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to move on to another part of the agenda. Let's get the roll call for the moment. What we're going to do is have guest introductions. If you're a guest, maybe it's your first time here, or maybe you're somebody that's not a guest speaker who's running for office, you could just kind of introduce someone. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead and say who you are and what.
I'm Dallas Green. I'm with Americans for Prosperity. My name's Dallas Green. I'm with Americans for Prosperity, Arkansas. Say on here.
Sure, go ahead.
I am running for, I'm helping run Bo Renshaw's ground campaign for Americans for Prosperity, Arkansas. We're doing door knocking, we're doing phone ranking. 30 minutes of your time makes all the difference in the world. Bo Renshaw is the gentleman running for Carlton Wing's seat, and that's going to be a tight race. His opponent is Alex Holliday, and we need all boots on the ground. I'm having a phone bank this weekend at AFP headquarters. We are located on Rodney Heron, and Jill has my information, how to get a hold of me. If you could just pop in, give me 30 minutes. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You don't have to stay the whole time. I will feed you. I am fun. And then whenever the literature hits, we will be door knocking. And I know our days are finally going to be getting longer, but if you could just give me an hour on the doors, if it didn't make a difference, they wouldn't pay me to get people to do it. They wouldn't make a job out of it. We do this all over the country, and it makes a difference. There's research behind it. So I know a lot of people, with the economy the way it is, you can't donate money, but you can donate your time, which really, that face-to-face contact, on-the-phone contact, that turns people that didn't even know about the election into a yes vote for Bo. And I don't know,
And what date is the election, is remind everyone?
oh, you're gonna quiz me on that. Okay, so the election is March the 3rd, and early voting, I'm not certain because it falls on President's Day. So does it really start on February 16th?
It's the 17th, it's more or less to remind everyone.
Okay.
Some people like it's just a special election.
And it's a special election. It's not a primary, so you have a lot of people that don't even fool with voting in a primary. So it's important that we get the word out. This is not a primary. This is who is going to replace Carlton Wing, and we want to keep that area red. It's a good area to door knock. It's not bad. I enjoy door knocking in Sherwood and North Little. The houses are kind of close together, and it's just boom, boom, boom. So, just, I need y'all's time, and I have one more thing, and then I'll let y'all have the floor.
Are both of these candidates Republicans, or is Bo a Republican?
Bo is a Republican, Alex Holliday is not. He's a Democrat. So, yeah, this is not a primary, this is his special election. And unfortunately, whoever wins, they have to run again for the general, because all he's doing is filling the end of Carlton's seat.
I think Bo is a Republican.
Bo is a Republican, yes, Alex is not. Yeah.
This is the election of the court who couldn't be held in the primary because it was too long. I mean,
Well, it's actually, you're going to vote for Bo Renshaw on primary day, on the 3rd, during the same time, so it's a little confusing.
Yes, there was a court ruling initially to delay it, but then in the end, after all the court said and done, it was scheduled for March 3rd.
And then one more thing, and then I'll let you have it. Americans for Prosperity, we are starting our campaign tomorrow. It's called Pathway to Zero. And what that is a plan to eliminate the Arkansas state income tax. I know everybody wants to eliminate the property tax. I do too, but we gotta eliminate something. Sometime, somewhere, and I know that everybody says, oh, well, we're gonna do that anyways. There's not a plan. So the economists have all got together, they've come up with a plan, and we're gonna try to get this passed. But we need to get everybody involved, get everybody talking and learning about it. I'm gonna have an event at US Pizza Hillcrest, the one with the meeting room up top, on February the 5th at 5:30, where we'll have an economist come in. You can ask all your questions. There's a website on here that tells more about it. Okay, that's all I got.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any more guests? Yes, ma'am.
I brought Patsy King with me.
Well, welcome, Patsy.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sort of a guest. My name is Jane Friday. I am a past president of Republican Women. I am a past first vice president of Republican Women, Pulaski County. I was the secretary of this committee. I was the secretary of the second congressional committee. I worked on numerous campaigns, both in Little Rock and in Dallas. I have years and years and years of experience in politics. And anyway, so I used to be in this committee. I haven't been for a few years. Little fan. But anyway, so I just wanted to say hello and come down and see the committee.
Good to see you again. Yes, ma'am.
So I guess officially I am a guest right now, but my name is Karen Maynard. I'm the president of North Pulaski Republican Women, and I also serve on the Pulaski County Special School District Board. So we do have 2 candidates that I'll let introduce themselves, but we have 3 open seats this time out of 7. And they all 3 have Democrat opponents. We run nonpartisan, but we can tell you they're registered Democrats and they're very liberal, and they're all running against our conservative candidates. And it's very, very important that we get the vote out and we maintain our conservative board. We have a 6-1 conservative board in Pulaski County right now in the school district. We got rid of our superintendent. That was very liberal, and we hired a conservative superintendent, but we want to maintain that. And with 3 seats up, these ladies need your help. So I'm gonna let them introduce themselves, but I just wanted to make sure you guys knew how important it was that we maintain that.
Hi, everyone. I'm Heather Smith. I have been on Pulaski County School Board for 4.5 years. I got bumped up from the November election to the spring because of the Senate's change of school board elections. So this is my only option, and I do have a hard Democrat running against me. So how do you say this? The 3 that are against us are linked together. they all pulled together to come after us. Because we have switched out all their local friends that were running the district, which was ruining the district. And so now we have fiscal responsibility. So I was there when we got rid of masks. I was 100%, and we don't have to have shots, we don't have to have the mask, let the kids go to school, like, put them back in class. And then when it came down to other decisions that have been made, the number one thing was we were financially unbalanced. We were in the negative more than we were ever in the black. And we kept adding new salaries, and we kept sending up, so the superintendent had to go. And so as of last December, January 2nd, he resigned, and we brought in an interim, and he was the previous superintendent that was let go. And he got in there and rooted us back in the right direction, and here we are. We've gotten a wonderful, I'm going to call him the Rip from Yellowstone, because he has got the attitude to get in there and fix everything. We got a rundown the other night of his future plans, and y'all, I could not have been more proud to have found some man out there, or woman, who was willing to get in there and do the challenging work of, why are we at schools? Why are we financially upside down? Why do we have too many seats being not filled? Why is that person still running that school that's next school 3rd year in a row? I love this, and I'm looking forward to, also part of my mantra for this election is our kids, our city of Sherwood, and our future. Because when the desegregation case ends after 40 years, which I was a child of, and I will be the one when it's finished, we will be able to separate Sherwood from Pulaski. And so my goal ultimately will be to have our own school. We have more than enough finances, more than enough student body. We are ready to go and have Sherwood School District. So that is my future plan as a school board person, but I'm a part of Sherwood. I'm on the inside of Brockington, the inside of 107, all the way out to the interstate, all the way back to B-Dubs, which bumps up to North. So I'm a very large portion of Sherwood. And so I will need support and some, as they call it, boots on the ground, and I will just, some financial support would not hurt either, to cover all those handouts and bailouts. Thank you so much.
No election date for that one?
Oh, I'm sorry, they're all March 3rd. I don't know that any of us, we're all here for March 3rd. Yes, sir. That's the only time I get to run, I guess, unless we were tied.
All right, any other guests? Yes, sir, in the back.
Mary Kathleen Chandler, are just recently moved here from Texas.
Welcome. Yes, ma'am. Welcome. Okay, any other guests? Yes, ma'am.
I'm Mary Jackson. I'm the other school candidate for school board representing Zone 2. And my first. But I do have an opponent, and yes, I don't really know much about her except that she went to school with my daughter. So you got 2 different generations here, and 2 different adults, but I don't know. Thank
All
you.
right, welcome, thank you. Yes, sir, very nice.
Many of the folks in this room know me. My name is Arkansas Supreme Court Justice Nick Ronnie. I was appointed to the Supreme Court by Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I'm currently running for a full 8-year term. I always tell people, if there's just one thing you remember about me, other than my name, which again is Nick Ronnie, it should be this: I probably suit Joe Biden more than anybody else in the state of Arkansas. So quickly, before I was appointed to the court, I was a Solicitor General under both Ken Griffin and Leslie Rutledge. In that role, I went to court to defend girls' sports. I successfully blocked President Biden's illegal attempt to put boys and men on girls' sports teams. I also went to court on behalf of the people of Arkansas and argued 2 cases personally in the United States Supreme Court, and I won both of those cases again. My election is March 3rd. I'm running against, our races are nonpartisan. I'm running against somebody who has run for Congress as a Democrat. In fact, is so far to the left that he was rejected as the Democratic nominee because Joyce Elliott was more conservative. Then turned around and ran for the state legislature as a Democrat, and now claims he's a nonpartisan candidate. But I think his record in line speaks for it. So we appreciate everybody.
right, any other guests?
So Nick Ronnie, he can't ask you, but he's got some handout cards here. There's a place to contact him, ronnieforarkansas.com at the bottom of his card. He would like your support. He needs financial support because his general election is 2 months away, less than away. So he's probably the candidate that the governor would support because she appointed him, the candidate that Kirk would support because he appointed him, and the candidate that Leslie Rutledge would support because she appointed him. So he's a great conservative, somebody that needs our support, and there's only 6 weeks left. You want cards? I've got some, I've only got some.
All right, thank you. Any other guests, introductions? There's, all right, seeing none, we're gonna move to the guest speakers portion. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Mama Rose. I'm here with my son, Robert Ellis. He's running
All right, welcome. All right. All right, we'll go to the guest speaker portion. We're gonna go by the agenda to see here. First on the list is Chase McDowell, candidate for U.S. Congress. Now, as we've done with speakers before, we usually give about 10 minutes to speak. And then if people have any questions, want to, any of their comments, they're welcome to do so. I'll go ahead and hand over the mic over to Jason. Speech.
Good afternoon, or good evening, everybody. Glad for you all to have me today. I appreciate being here. Let me go ahead and because me talking with a microphone never goes out very well. I'm a good Baptist, and I like to talk with my hands. I appreciate y'all having me here today. We've been all in the district today. This was the first time I could take my campaign staff to the Capitol. One of them did go with me when I paid that $30,000 filing fee, but other than that, we didn't get to go see the Capitol. And one thing that I've enjoyed doing is having people from Pennsylvania, from Arizona, and from Louisiana. I've got one staff member that's from Louisiana that calls the Hogs now, even though we went to LSU. But it's been fun to, it's been extremely fun to show them how beautiful our state is and how I can be an ambassador for them. And it's something that we've done across the country. So, I do have a history of working in Washington. I have a history of working with the governor of Georgia. I did spend time at the White House in 2018 and 2019 trying to get this healthcare under control back then. Of course, we had a little pause here for 4 years, and we don't like to talk about as Republicans, but we had that little pause, and it's caused us a massive issue with healthcare. One of the main reasons that I'm running is because it's a major issue and problem for every American, regardless if you're just now graduating from high school or if you're retirement age. I know that this is extremely expensive. I have a plan that's a little bit different than the president. I don't think that, he came out today. I don't think giving you the money is going to fix the problem. I think with the actual issue is we have to show these insurance companies because the issue that I see with what Republicans are pushing right now is if I send you the check, we're not fixing the actual problem, which is why is it so expensive? It's expensive because it's a monopoly. So what I would love to see is a Blue Cross and Blue Shield of America, not Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Arkansas or Texas or Louisiana, where they're able to divide us up and they're able to charge us different premiums. I want it to be a baseline premium for the whole country. These are issues and things that Republicans have been advocating for 30 years. I want to see that happen. So I'm originally from Southwest Arkansas. So I'm originally from a small town called Stance, Arkansas. And I grew up extremely poor. I grew up in a trail house, and somehow I ended up in the White House. I really don't know how that happened. Every day, sometimes I wake up and say, Lord, you got me here. I don't know how, I'm not deserving, but I'm proud to be here. What I want to bring to this office is we have a potential to have trillions of dollars worth of wealth through the lithium in the southern part of the state. We now are producing some of the greatest steel that this country produces. There's battery plants that are going to South Carolina, but if I'm your congressman or not, they're going to come to Arkansas. We're going to make those things here. One thing that Arkansas is failing at is we are becoming a state where we are more focused on providing hotels and restaurants and service industries. But what we have to do is we have to go back to building again. When y'all were 30 years old, you could go at any point in time and go buy a General Electric or a Kelvinator or any different type of washer and dryer, refrigerator. Televisions were made in America. All of these things were made in America, but today that's not the case. That's went away. What I want to see is that we can start producing these things. I think that AI is actually a good thing that we can utilize in this system. Same thing with 3D printing. We go back to being machinists. We go back to building things. This is also an issue. We all know that Taiwan is going to be a problem in the future, right? China wants it. They want it because they produce a semiconductor chip. Not in Chase's world. We're going to make them right here in America. Okay. We start taking these things and we stop depending on China. We stop depending on all of these foreign nations. Same thing with the oil. We now have taken one of our greatest assets in this globe, which is on our side of the hemisphere. And one thing that I'm proud of the president is he said, hey, the Monroe Doctrine still holds. Y'all worry about your side of the world. I'm worried about mine. We're going to take that oil. They're not responsible with it, but we are, so we're going to protect our greatest assets. This is an issue and a problem. And what is BRICS based like? Cryptocurrency. What is your current congressman want? He wants you to go to a full digital currency. We're not going to do that. I'm going to protect cash. And, me and the president had a pretty good relationship when I was at the White House. We'll go back to that. Doesn't offend me at all that they endorsed a chairman of the position. He's supposed to. That's what he's supposed to do. He's a leader of the party. But I can tell you now that French has come out supporting the Federal Reserve Chair so feverishly, saying he's a man of such high integrity. Pretty sure that's not going to go over very well. Pretty sure we got a phone call about that. Because I think that the Federal Reserve Chair has cost this nation billions of dollars over the last year because he hates the President of the United States. True. Well, you're right. But the issue that I have is that it has halted this country. We have wasted a year. And I don't think it's just a sentiment that I'm running against Rich Hill. I think it's a sentiment that every Republican that serves right now in the House of Representatives and the Senate needs to go home. Because we've wasted another year. We did that the first term. We've done it again. We're now in a position to where we know for a fact that if we lose the House of Representatives, what are the Democrats going to do? They're going to impeach the president again and again, and nothing will happen. And we will have wasted another 4 years of a Donald Trump president. That's not going to happen with me. Okay. Now, for the remainder of this, what I would like to do, my favorite thing to do, is I'm going to ask you to ask me questions. I think that's the best thing for this. I can talk for 9 days straight. Like I said, I'm a perfect Baptist. I can talk and talk and talk. But what I want for y'all, ask me the questions. Tell me how you want America to be, or ask me the questions so that I can give you the answer. So that, who wants to go first? Yes, ma'am.
How are you ever gonna get term limits when y'all get to vote, whether y'all get them or not?
Well, first of all, I was your chairman for term limits in Arkansas. So I think where we're going to have to work on this is this. So the current congressman makes $1 million a year in stock trades. If I take that ability away, if I take away the fact that they can spend $1,200 a month on a rental car that you're paying for, I don't know if y'all know that, they can rent a vehicle for their district. Some of those Congress people live within a 5-mile radius in Manhattan, but they spend $1,200 a month on a rental car. They can walk their district. We're going to take that away. Frank spends $20,000 a month with Politico. What did Politico do to the Republican Party? Yeah. We come to find out with Doge that was just a Democrat machine. So I'm not going to spend $20,000 to have someone tell me how to vote. That's another issue and another problem. So if we start taking these budgets away because they're going to give me $1 million+ budget, hey, I'm not going to use that. I'm not going to use that money, right? I'm not going to trade stocks. No one in my office is going to trade stocks. Because how is that fair? If any of us, if I came down as a congressman and told you how to actually buy that stock, guess what? Y'all would go to prison. I wouldn't. Tim Burchett said it perfectly. He makes skateboards. What he likes to do. He went to the ethics commission and he said, so I can actually do insider trading and not get in trouble, but I can get in trouble because I sell skateboards. He said, yeah, you sure can. So you have to fix that this office is not supposed to be an office that you profit from, but it's supposed to be a sacrifice. I think of it as this. If you elect me as your next congressman, it's the honor and the glory of the position. That somehow, some way, God gave me the ability to be your congressman and represent the greatest nation on earth. How can I steal it? How can I do that? I've also told everybody I'm only going to do this for 10 years. I will be 32 years old on the 28th of this month. When I'm done, I will be 42 years old. And I will walk away from this, and I hope that I hand it over to a better person than I am. That's what I expect for America. Next question? Yes, ma'am.
I'll tell you what I want.
Yes.
Okay? So when I see things like a bill let's just go on and, you know, go this way. Here's the Republicans that voted against the report or whichever. But what I want is, you know, my congressman to post like on his Facebook page, hey, we're fixing to vote for this bill, HR 107. I'm voting for it or against it, and here's why.
So I've already done.
I don't want to, because people trash you without knowing them.
Absolutely. So go to McDowell for Arkansas. That's my Facebook page. I go through every bill and I say, hey, I would not have voted for the big beautiful bill. You know why? It was given to you 30 minutes before it was time to vote, and it's 1,300 pages and it's $5 trillion. Oh no, you gotta wait. I'm not doing that. We're 37 at that time. We were 37. Now we're $38 trillion in debt. You want to spend that much money? No. Were there things out of it that I think were great? Absolutely. I think it's beautiful. Why weren't they so? It's because for some reason we decided to just lump everything together on this bill, and we said, hey, that's everything we're going to do. That's our whole agenda, and we're going to go on and campaign, and that's basically what happened. I think that's a horrible way to run the government. I think it should be singular issue bills so that you can hold my feet to the fire. You say, you didn't vote for that, you're going home. Good, send me home. Yes, sir.
Is there a general plan for health insurance? When they're talking about, we're gonna get a plan, we're gonna do something. Is there something generally out there?
Well, I can go ahead and tell you, yes, I have a plan, they do not. I can go ahead and tell you Republicans right now, and look, I am a diehard Reagan-style Republican. I'm not going anywhere from the Republican Party, but I'm so embarrassed at my party right now because we have for years said that we want Obamacare gone, but it's not. So no, there's not a plan right now. I think my time's up. What I want to do is when we're over, I'll stand over there in the corner. My guys have got a handout for you. I'll answer every question until the sun comes up, and even then we'll still keep going. Okay, I appreciate it. My name is Chase McDowell. I'm McDowell from Arkansas. I've got everything on there. And yet again, I'll be over there in the corner. Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Chase. Up next on the agenda, we have our next speaker is Will Jones.
Thank y'all for having me. I'm Prosecuting Attorney Will Jones, and I was originally elected in 2023, or elected 2022, and took office in 2023. And I want to apologize for my dress now. It's kind of ragged. I've been out hanging signs in Perry County all day, and so we've been traveling around, making sure that we get the word out there because we need to win this election. I won't tell you exactly why. I was in church, visiting a church Sunday, and the pastor was talking about finding your purpose, finding God's purpose for you. Right? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, I know my purpose. I know the purpose that I believe God gave to me, and that's to be in this role and protect our community and do everything I can to get justice and work with families that have lost loved ones and all the property stolen from people and everything, and try to make them as whole as I can. Because I've been doing this work for 25 years, and I've studied all these issues and studied ways that we can make our community safer and how our justice system can be better. And then when I got elected in 2023, I was finally in a position where I could institute the policies that I'd learned about through the years and I thought would work. And guess what we found out? They work. I'm not saying it's perfect, but we are safer now than we were, at least in Pulaski County. So the crime rate, overall crime rate in Little Rock is down 28% from when I took office. The homicide rate is down 44%. Every year that we've been in office, the homicide rate has gone down. Now, it's still way too high, and we're not patting ourselves on the back and saying we've done great work. It's not just been us. It's been our involvement with members of our community, and especially our involvement with law enforcement. We repaired the relationship our office had with law enforcement, and it's made an absolute difference. I respond personally to the homicides that happen here, and when I take personally, I meet with the families that have lost loved ones. I try my best to be at every one of those first meetings that we have, because I want them to know that the entire office is behind them trying to get justice for their families because they have to bury their children. And that's not how life is supposed to go, especially because someone decided that they were going to play God and take the life of someone else in the streets of the world. So mostly Little Rock, obviously. We cover all of Pulaski and Perry County. So I don't tell you that to say, hey, we're done. We've got some really great things coming beyond this that are very exciting. One of them got voted on today in Congress. It's a $5.5 million project that's going to be run out of our office that will connect real time the entire law enforcement community in the state of Arkansas. It's called the Arkansas Crime Intelligence Network. It was designed by people, very people in our office. It's going to be run out of our office, and Senator Bozeman proudly sponsored that. And I'm telling you, it's going to revolutionize the way law enforcement is done in the entire country. We are the flagship. And with the touch of a button, law enforcement can have access to over 5,200 record management systems. Just like that. All law enforcement across the state. You know, there's a lot of rural areas where they don't have as much access to some things that we have here in the Rock, that in place, but we really work hard to have a game changer for solving crimes quickly, because that's what we know from studies. The greatest deterrent to people committing crimes is how quickly am I going to get caught. If they don't think they're going to get caught, it's not so much what the ultimate sentence is going to be. Sometimes people talk about, the death penalty is a great deterrent and all that. The death penalty is not a great deterrent for somebody pulling that trigger, because the death penalty couldn't be carried out most of the time, right, for 20 to 30 years, right? We haven't had any executions since 2017, right, in Arkansas. So, and I'm not saying I'm certainly understand. We pursue the death penalty when we need to here in Pulaski County. But what I'm telling you is, getting caught quickly and the certainty of getting caught is the biggest deterrent anywhere out there. And that's something that we have changed by working with law enforcement literally from the time the crime is committed. I get an alert on my phone. When the Little Rock homicide detectives get the alert to come to the scene, I get the same alert. So there are a lot of times, obviously over in North Little Rock, so I'm there a lot of times before the detectives are even there. And then we make sure that case is followed through, and we file the charges we need to charge, and hopefully we can keep them, hopefully we convince the judges sometimes to keep them in jail and not let them get back out on the streets. The other thing we have coming is group violence intervention. Pine Bluff, somebody may have heard about Pine Bluff, has been using this initiative for the last 3 years now, and they went over 550 days without a juvenile killing someone. And I was the chief deputy down in Pine Bluff for 2 years before I came here to be the elected prosecutor. Before I was the campaign. I campaigned while I was down in Pine Bluff, and I know firsthand how that community has been just ravaged by violence, especially violence from illegal guns being in the hands of young men. And they went over 550 days. It's a great success story. And we have finally brought it here. We worked hard to secure the funding for 2 years, and now we're going through the analysis phase of how that works. So I could bore you with the policy of that and the successes all around the country where that group violence intervention has been implemented. That is something that's coming here too. So I tell you all that to tell you, I have dedicated my adult life and my career to trying to make our community safer. And I'm going to tell you, if we're not reelected, last time, if you may recall, we had to beat back George Soros. Remember that? George Soros put $321,000 30 days out from the election to try to swamp us. And thankfully, the community, the Republican Party of Arkansas, honestly, came to our aid, and we won that election. Now, we're still not 30 days out yet. So I have every reason to believe, with the policies that my opponent is talking about, that may be coming again. But let me tell you a little bit about him. He was a Jacksonville police officer, and he got fired for lying and covering up a crime. And he got decertified, got his badge taken away. And you see in his signs or anything out there, it says he has a badge. The O in his last name is Forrest, and the O in Forrest is a police badge. A badge that he's not qualified to carry anymore, because he knows that badge carries certain responsibilities and certain characteristics that send a certain message. And he's trying to use that badge that he can't use anymore to give him credibility. When the responsibilities that underlie the ability to carry that badge, he betrayed that. When he had the chance, he betrayed that and lost his job. And here's the other thing. Because of that, and because he misused the Arkansas Criminal Crime Information Network, which is our criminal history, right? When you get pulled over, they go back to run your history, right? See how bad your driving record is and those kind of things. And when someone gets arrested, we know how many times they've been arrested before. When we go to trial on somebody in court, we know what crimes they committed in the past. He can't access that. And he would disqualify the entire office of the prosecuting attorney, because they're not going to give the head person of the prosecutor's office access to a system that he betrayed and lost his rights to access. So that's how dire this situation is. if we're not elected. So I hope that you would support us because of the things that we've been doing, because of the things that we stood for, and the experience that I have. And I'll tell you, when I first stood in front of a jury for the first time getting justice for a little boy and a girl in Crawford County, Arkansas, my opponent was in the third grade. He's been practicing for 6 years. I've been doing this for over 20 years. And so I'm not going to get defensive about the things we've done because an upstart comes along and says, oh, I think I can do it better, when he's never done the job one day in his life. So that's the end of my campaign speech. I'll certainly entertain any questions that you guys may have. But I had the support of a lot of people in this room last time, and I'm very grateful for that. And I'd certainly be grateful if you would support us again and make sure that we can continue doing everything we can to make our community safer.
Have you ever prosecuted election fraud? And with regards to what was the event that we had in Pulaski County, where the district was changed, you know, the precinct was changed. And I just wonder if that ever made it to the prosecuting attorneys.
That, I think that, I don't know that one has. I can't remember. I'm familiar with it, and I remember seeing it. I don't remember what stage it's in, though, because the Attorney General has that election integrity unit. And I know that I've had discussions with them, and I can't remember how far along the process that is. I'm sorry that I don't know the answer to that. But I know I have seen.
The ballot was changed as well.
I know the facts of what you're talking about. But the problem for me is if it's a case that's in our office, I can't speak publicly about it because it would hurt the defendant and you know, hurt their rights to a fair trial if I'm talking about it in public. So I think we can't do that. Yes, sir.
How thoroughly does information about Arkansas investigations, suspects, convictions, et cetera, get into the national databases?
Well, it's very accurate, yeah. If there's criminal convictions or anything like any arrest or convictions, those are in the Arkansas Crime Information system, and then the national one is run by the FBI. And so those are, I'll say accurate. I mean, we have to check a lot of times because what'll happen is you'll have the arrest and you know that someone's been arrested, but then you might, when it comes to the conviction part of it, you may look at that and it may not have a conviction on there. So you might have to call the court and see if a conviction was ever entered. It's better than it used to be because now, you know, a lot of the courts are online. So you can go, literally like in Pulaski County, you can go and look up on the circuit clerk's website and find. So it's better than it used to be, but a lot of times we do have to call and check and verify because sometimes, you know, someone didn't enter it right at the court or something like that. But the arrests are generally very good, but then whether there was a conviction or not, sometimes we have to follow up on that. Is that what you're asking?
And does all that get to the FBI for the national, for people who do background investigations on people?
Yeah, it gets there. It's you just might have to call and verify on some individual convictions or something like that. But it's not as bad. I mean, it's better than it used to be. And another, yes, sir.
She had a hand first, but this is just a quick comment. I just want to say thank you for putting signs out in southeast Pulaski County. We rarely see Republican signs. I know it's not varsity, but thanks for putting signs.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Full disclosure, I am supporter of Will. But something comes back to me. So your opponent is a defense attorney.
Right.
So I know we probably have other lawyers in here. To me, that just seems like your mindset that's kind of like an oxymoron for a defense attorney to then turn around and become a prosecutor. Am I wrong on that? Am I just a concern? It just bugs me personally, and I've never asked a question.
Right. It's certainly a concern that I have. I mean, look, the defense attorneys are a vital part of the criminal justice system. That it takes both sides, but you know, all I've ever done is be a prosecutor, and I couldn't flip my head around and do the other side of it. And there are a lot of defense attorneys that I know that I would trust. One of my friend here, Robert Davis, is going to speak to you in a little bit. I mean, Robert's done criminal defense work, but I know and Mr. Sterling in the back, you don't do a lot of criminal work.
I'm just civil defense.
But, so there are some that I would trust, that I know are, doing it the right way. This fellow's not one, I'm just gonna tell you. I mean, it's a lot of underhanded tactics in court and that kind of stuff, and either doesn't know the rules or knows them and running all over them and that kind of thing. So I have real concerns about that, especially with the law enforcement. I mean, and look, he even lied to get on the Civil Service Commission in Little Rock, because you have to be a resident of the city and a registered voter in the city you're in. Well, he's lived in Sherwood now for 3 or 4 years, and he had to change his voter registration in Sherwood and then reapplied to be on the Little Rock Civil Service Commission and said, I've been a resident for 6 years and I'm a registered voter in Little Rock, knowing that that's not true at all. So I mean, that's the kind of thing that really scares me about, and getting in that role where integrity and honesty and justice is paramount.
Well, thank you.
Next on the agenda for guest speakers is judicial candidate Robert Tellez.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Robert Tellez, and I'm running for circuit judge here. Our judicial district is Pulaski and Perry County. I've been an attorney for 18 years, and I've had a wide breadth of legal experience, done family law, civil law, criminal law. I've worked with people all over the state from varied backgrounds. People from rural parts of our state, people that don't have a lot of income or assets, people that don't have access to the courts. And importantly, what's really been my guiding star throughout my 18 years as an attorney is the attorney-client relationship and building relationships based on integrity and honesty with my client, and then in the way that I interact with opposing counsel. As Mr. Jones mentioned, I'm his friend, and I've been able to do a solid job, effective job representing people while also doing right by opposing counsel and the judges in the judiciary. So that's very important to me. My platform is one of 4 things that are, I believe, very important for a judge: humility, accessibility, respect, and kindness. I was fortunate, I was with the North Pulaski Republican Women's a couple of months ago. Always love being with you guys and Karen. And I had an awesome question. Somebody said, does kindness mean being easy on people? No, it does not. We have to have a rule of law. We have to have boundaries. We have to have respect for law enforcement. Kindness is in the way that we listen and treat our fellow human beings. And so regardless of the position, I believe the best judges that I've been around listen to everybody in the court and make prompt rulings in accord with the law, but they're very kind in the way they treat people in the court. And that's the type of judge that I want to be. Very important to me. I've been married for 20 years to my wife, Mary. I have 2 kids, Lucy and Eli. They're 14 and 12 years old. They're my rock. So that's what I enjoy doing when I'm not practicing law, is spending time with them. And so it's very important. In Pulaski County, it's a seniority system. So the judges, it's a general trial court. So that means that we have jurisdiction over felony criminal trials, as Mr. Jones mentioned, over family law cases, over juvenile cases, over civil cases, probate, and guardianship cases. So I think it's very important that a judge have a wide breadth of experience. On day one, if I become judge, I'll be ready to handle any of those types of cases, but I'll be at the service of the public. Most importantly, as a judge, it's not my court, it's your court. So I'm there to serve the public. As the senior, the lowest, the newest judge, I will be doing whatever the other judges need me to do, and I'll be ready day one to help the court and however they need me to serve the public. We're fortunate in our state, in my opinion, we have nonpartisan judicial elections. Now, I understand we all have biases. That's just, it is what it is. And so I believe it's important to be honest and show integrity in the way that we conduct ourselves. And so for me, I want to be a fair and impartial judge. Somebody comes into our court, if they're a Democrat or a Republican, I want to treat them equally and fairly and impartially. If they're poor or if they're rich, I want to treat them fairly and impartially. At the core, the black robe means it's one that doesn't have biases. And although we are human beings and we have biases, that black robe means that our best judges are there to rule impartially. And I believe that integrity, as Mr. Jones mentioned, is very important in any public servant. Our elections in Arkansas are on the primary day. So this year and every year is going to be March 3rd. That's the election for this position. Our early voting starts February 17th. And again, our judicial district is Pulaski and Perry County. I have two opponents in my race. One has been practicing, I have nothing negative to say about either, but one has been practicing 5 years. The other ran for Attorney General as a Democrat and has run before as a Democrat. We'll take that for what it's worth. I just want to be a fair and impartial judge who treats everybody well. The reason that in 2014, it's actually when Will's wife was becoming judge, that's when I really first started thinking about what I'd like to be someday and who it really impacted me. At that time, I had 7 years as an attorney. And when I've been in front of judges around our state, there's many good ones. You go into a court, you represent your client, and you know that you have a chance. You may not win, but at least you'll have the opportunity to have your case heard, and your client will feel like justice is done. On the other hand, if you're in a court where the judge is impatient, does not have appropriate judicial temperament, is angry, treats people poorly, justice feels like it's not done. Even if you win, it just feels toxic. And so that's exactly what I don't want to be. Be honored and humbled to have your vote. Please, if I'm become judge, hold me accountable. If I'm not living up to these principles and ideals, I'd love to know about it. We want to continue to serve the public as well as we can. Again, I'm Robert Tays, and I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
If you have a question.
Yes, sir.
There's a couple of cases up in the Supreme Court that the audience are watching right now on men and boys and girls sports. What's your feeling about the potential outcome and the potential outreaches of how this ruling may come down?
Well, so this is, I appreciate the question. I think it's very important. It's something that we talk about at my dinner table. My stepdad who raised me, Jim Rose, is here. My mom, Norma's here. In line with what I just mentioned earlier when I was speaking, as a judicial candidate, we have judicial ethic rules. And even as a candidate, I'm bound by those rules. And so ethically, I cannot comment on how I would potentially rule if a case came in front of me as a judge. And so I can't publicly state how I would rule in that situation or how I feel about that to protect the integrity of the judicial proceedings. At the best, it was so great about being a trial judge is, and I heard Judge Amy Coney Barrett on a show talk this way. She was asked these questions in the Supreme Court, and I really admire her because questions came like that, and she said the way her judicial philosophy is, what the judicial ethics requires, you have to listen. For that, it's an appellate court. So there you have to see the records, you get to have oral argument, you get to ask counsel, and you get to decide along with your colleagues. You have your own opinion, but there's 9 justices of the Supreme Court. As a trial judge, the fruits of what we can see is the evidence that comes in. So it's the witnesses, testimony, exhibits, expert witnesses, cross-examination, direct examination. So it's really would depend on, if that case came in front of me, what the evidence is. And so if I were to judge that case right now in front of you, I want to give you an answer, I would not be doing my job. And so that's really the way and the philosophy that I'll handle cases. But I do appreciate the question because it's very important. Yes, sir.
Can I ask a follow-up on that?
Yes, sir.
Personally, do you believe that a man can get pregnant? Number one. Number two, how many genders are there? Personally, how do you feel about that personally? I think he'll answer.
Can I help out a little bit? So just get him a little bit off the hot seat. I've known Robert for probably at least 10 years, and I will tell you that as a former candidate for
Arkansas Supreme Court, statewide campaign on a couple occasions. The one thing that made people so mad is when I would get asked questions just like that, some politically charged type of, or political type question and everything. And as a candidate and as a judge, as a candidate right now and as a judge on the bench, if he wins, he's not going to be able to answer those questions under the rules of judicial ethics. It's just
You
not.
mean to tell me that you can't answer the question as to whether or not you believe that a man can get pregnant?
Yeah, he could, but I mean, it'd be a violation of the ethical rules for judicial candidates.
Because, Senator Hewley asked that question to a medical doctor and drilled down on it.
That's different. I mean, the
And
medical doctor.
never got that answer, but I mean, he was asking that question. I just think that.
I'm just letting you know that the rules of judicial ethics prohibit him from saying that, otherwise, from talking to you about that on the campaign trail in this context. You may not like it, but I'm just letting you know, he's not trying to avoid your question. It's just something that candidates and judges are put in a real tough position, choosing between answering your question and satisfying you and everybody else in this room, but at the same time subjecting himself to a judicial complaint being filed against him with the Committee on Judicial Ethics. But
I don't necessarily see that as a political question.
Okay. Everybody else in the room. But let me just say, I'm going to vouch for this guy. I've known him for at least 10 years now. I served in the American Inns of Court with him, which has to do with integrity within the law practice. His opponents, one is a guy named Jacob Wycliffe, who's only been practicing for 5 years and is seeking this position. The other is Jesse Gibson, who ran for Attorney General as a Democrat just a few years ago until he rear-ended a parked car and got a DUI, and then he had to withdraw from the race. But he's former president of the Arkansas Trial Lawyers Association. So you got 3 people in the race. It's probably going to end up being in a runoff in November. We just need to make sure that Mr. Tellez here, and his last name is spelled Tellez, and his website is Tellez4 judge.com. He can't ask you for donations, but I'm asking you right now for donations for him because he can't ask you for that. But I can tell you as a candidate, he needs your support both financially and at the ballot box, and I appreciate that.
Guest speakers. We're going to move on to another section of the agenda that we had earlier. We're going to go ahead and do the roll call of present members and proxies. Microphone on.
All right, enough of this. All right, so I have a few proxies, but I'm just going to run through this as quick as I can. And then at the end, if I miss you, I will give you an opportunity to let me know. So Jim England. Here. Marilyn England. Here. Myself. Rick Langston. Carla Nettles. Here. Gail Ott. Vicki Tuttle. Vicki Payne.
Here.
Carolyn Brown. Darla Cobb. Liz Edwards. Jim Huffman. Janice Maxey. Okay. All right. Thank you. Janice Maxey. Marlene Michael. Mary Olin. Renee Russell. Michelle Stalins. Angie Fisher. Here. Marlon Fisher. Present. Mary Ann Harrington. Here. Rita Hall. Anita House. Here. Karen Maynard. Here. Amy Howard. Scott Roundtree. Mel Chapman. Here. Sylvia Chapman. Here. Don Purdy. Shannon Dennis. Stephen Finnegan. Here. Bill Clamon. Here. Raymond Jarvis. Here. Shirley Jarvis. Here. Reed Martin. Here. Tim Shields. Michael White. Bill Tomlinson. Andrew Sadler.
He was here.
Yeah, I know. Okay, Allison Allen,
Here.
Chad Allen,
Here.
Sandy Bird, Dale Custer,
Here.
Linda Goff, Rick Goff, Ginger Griffin,
Here.
Doris Reed, Doug Reed, Sue Reynolds, Mary Silkies,
Here.
Chris Yarborough, Dale Falkmeasure, Teresa Evelyn, Bill Falkmeasure, Paige Fowler, Bob Craig,
Here.
Jim Bell,
Here.
and you proxy Laura, right?
Yes.
Joanne Craig, Joe Keaton, Jamie Land, Susan Lugo, Felipe Lugo, Becky McHughes,
Here.
Kim McKay,
Proxy, Rick McKay.
Diane Mullers,
Here.
Rick McKay,
Here.
Kathy Mueller, David Scott, Amber Singleton, Jennifer Stevens, Roy Stevens, David Sterling,
Here.
Rob Thompson,
Here.
Nikki Thompson, Ken Wallace,
Here.
John L. Fuller.
Here. Did you get Teresa Lewis proxy?
I didn't, but if you send it to me, I'll have it.
I gave it to
You put, okay, yes, okay. All right, who did I miss? Oh, my word. You guys, I think a page didn't print. I was struggling with my printer. Okay, you want to just go from the back? See AJ?
AJ Kelly.
Okay, sorry about that.
Iverson Jackson.
Michael Russian,
Okay,
got to rush in, rush out. Outcome.
all right, who else did I miss? All right,
Kevin Gorman, happy new year.
yeah, right, that's fine. I knew a whole page was missing, but I couldn't get the prints. Okay. I must know.
Mary Rock.
Sherry Brad. Brad, B-R-A-T-T.
Okay.
Matthew Carter.
Okay.
Jackie Thompson.
Okay. No. Y'all, this is the one that my husband came to, so I'm just trying to impress him. I think I'm doing a good job, right? Okay. Anybody else?
Say you are.
Right? Okay, we're gonna call it good. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Jill. Let's see here, number 6. Move along to the treasurer's report.
All right, we're really through December, the end of December, and there's no outstanding deposits or expenses. So we've got a cash balance of $20,324.81. And we did collect some money for the Christmas party, which is about $270. The expense was about $690. So the committee paid about $400 or so for that. And so this reflects the filing period. We filed 71 members, 7 candidates. So we have a net income this year of $5,401.47. And this quarter has been filed, and I also registered the committee. You have to register the committee every year, so that's been done.
All right, thank you very much, Jackie. We'll move back to another section of the agenda. We'll need to approve the minutes of the previous meeting in November of 2025. Just need a motion to approve the minutes.
Make motion.
Second. Okay, second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, minutes have been approved. All right, moving right along. We'll go ahead and start. there any nominations for any new members? Nominate someone to be a new member. For those who don't know, we do is we first nominate someone to be a member, and then in the meeting following that nomination, we can approve, vote on previous members. Yes, we're going to do that in just so any nominations for any new members? Seeing none, we're going to move on to the next section, which is voting on previous nominations. We have a list of those people that were.
Yeah.
Okay, we have new members, Kim and Rick McKay, Carla Nettles, and Kevin Gordon.
Because you signed up in December, because we did it this different way, so we vote you in today. But it'll count for 2016.
I'm gonna nominate my friend as
Okay, we can go ahead and nominate her and then vote on her in February.
Yeah.
You have to come twice, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but we're about to do the great reset.
So, yeah, let's,
So I have to look at how all that works, but I'll do it.
okay, and you got her name recorded as a new, okay, great. So besides Kim and Rick McKay, Carla Nettles, and Kevin Gordon, there was only 3 people that were voted on. 4 for new members, okay. So what we're going to do now is vote to accept them as new members.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Congratulations. All right, moving right along. Yes, sir.
So we actually filed, we did all of that. So, but we still have to be voted in. Is that how that works? I don't.
It's a, I would say, loophole may not be the right word.
Suspenders and a belt type deal.
It's another avenue that Garland County let me know about, and we had it vetted to RTA. And it has something to do with, like, there's so many at-large and precinct members you can have per county based on the number of voters or whatever. And because we don't have all those positions filled, we have an opportunity between the actual filing period and when the ballots are printed. You know, your name won't go on the ballot, but we have that window to have a few new members join. We're going to miss the filing period.
I got you.
So we took advantage of that, and that's
When are the ballots for the,
February, I think early February.
All right. We have another procedure we need to do. What's on the agenda is the election of a new vice chair. We have someone to be nominated, and of course, we'll go through an election process just like before. Are there any nominations for the new vice chair?
does this have to be a female since you're the chairman of the male? It is the rule.
You know, we already have Marilyn England as first vice chair, so it has to be a male. Only 2 genders. All right. Are there any nominations? Yes, ma'am. Okay, Dale Cusser has been nominated. Seconded. All right, who accepts?
I accept.
All right, are there any other nominations for vice chair? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Hearing none.
I move to accept the acclamation.
Accept by acclamation.
Second.
Seconded. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Congratulations. All right, let's go on to reports. Do we have any reports regarding the Arkansas legislature? What's going on there? Seeing none. Anything regarding the Pulaski County Quorum Court? reports regarding city, county, and school government. I know we had some candidates running for school board. Any other reports regarding city? I actually have one bit of a report. There is a special election tax increase also scheduled for March 3rd. It is in Maumelle. And they are trying to, well, they're calling it an extension because it was supposed to sunset. And as you know, when you hear someone propose a tax increase with a sunset clause, no, they are lying to you. They will find some other excuse to try to extend that, or they'll let it sunset, but they'll use it as an excuse to raise another tax. So it is I believe, a half-cent sales tax. Among the many projects it has as standard procedure, some of it is for first responders, some of it is for road and sewage, but also they have an plan to astroturf a certain area. And there's also supposed to be lights they want to put around, I believe it's Lake Victoria. This is one of the small lakes around there. So once again, they mix in pet projects with some things that they should have spent money on beforehand. So if you know anybody in the Maumelle area, let them know that tax increase is going to be happening. There was a tax increase that was a big one that was done in Sherwood in November. So I'm not aware of any other tax increase elections going on in Pulaski County. If anybody does know of any, let us know as soon as possible, because they will try to sneak them past folks.
Sure.
Yes. That was an excellent job. All right, and then we don't have any of the election commissioners here. Yes, ma'am.
Do we have, if anybody, I'm an election judge in Maumelle, so thanks for that. Has anybody signed up, gone online to sign up to be an election clerk that has not been notified by the election commission that wants to work in that? Okay. It's March 3rd. March 3rd. What is an election? Well, it's different things, like you can be doing the.
Do you want to go ahead and,
Yeah.
go ahead and get the microphone here.
Oh, I don't.
Yes, yes.
We're in the section that deals with election commissioner anyways.
So election clerk can do various different things, but the main thing is there's a tablet that you will, well, when you go in to vote, you gotta give them, they're gonna give you the driver's license, you scan it, whatever. And then we also, as an election clerk, you're responsible to give them the correct ballot for them to do their stuff. It's really, it's very easy. It's a long day. Not gonna lie, you gotta be there at 6:30 and you're there until I can get it all closed out. So we try to be as quickly and as efficient as possible. But if you've already signed up and they've already got you in the system, if you would let me know, that would be great, because I can contact them tomorrow and tell them to pull you out of the system, because training is gonna be in the next couple of weeks. But if not, they'll just assign me somebody. That's okay. But I was just thinking if somebody was.
Thank you. All right, are there any updates regarding any of the PCRC committees?
So I'm one of the co-chairs of the outreach committee, and we did not meet in January. We accomplished a lot of our goals. So we wanted to establish a website, purchase data, which we've done both of those things. And thanks to Matt Picar, we've got an email campaign going. So at this point, we're ready to execute and help candidates by, just all hands on deck. And we hope for a phase 2, which Daryl Stevens is the co-chair. And so he may call meetings for outreach. So stay tuned.
Right. Any other updates or any other PCRC committees? I see. Moving right along. Any new business? Any motions or resolutions? Any announcements? Yes, sir. We're back.
45 degrees, sunny, wind, 5 to 10 miles an hour. Come to the March for Life. It's this Sunday, 2:00. Be there. You'll see me.
Where?
Oh, Capitol, State Capitol, State Capitol.
In front of that.
Front.
Okay, so they're gonna meet in the front of the state capitol at 2,
We actually start marching from State Street and go forward from there.
on State Street, and go forward from State Street.
The largest group we've ever had was 6,000 people. Lately, it's been more like 1,500. So let's see if we can get a little bigger.
It's this Sunday too. Any other announcements? Yes, sir.
This may seem, for those who aren't linguistics majors, a little bit nitpicky. But what I heard today was the term gender misused by everybody. The left knows that if you can change the meaning of the word, you can change the way people think about it. The term gender originally applied to languages, and only languages. In the English language, we have 3. Masculine, feminine, and neuter. And they apply only to the words and the words related to both. Latin has something like 5 or 6, don't worry about it. And when you use the term, they're trying to, what you heard in the Supreme Court was that woman trying to avoid the term man or woman, or the term sex, because we only, in mammals, we only have 2 sexes, male and female. So if you consistently refuse to adopt the term gender and force the person into the term sex, it's male and female. Don't even allow them to go to man or woman, because what they try and do is change the definition of man or woman. Like, you know, what's the definition? What is the meaning of, the meaning of the word is? They try and change that. What you heard was they're trying to avoid that, shift it into subsections of men and subsections of women, changing the term, when originally it meant an adult male for a man, an adult female for a woman. Just don't let them force you into that gender crud, because unless you're a linguist, then okay, go ahead.
Thank you for that. Any other announcements? Yes, sir, Pat.
One more announcement concerning English. Remember, all of us are not pronouns, we're all proper
Thank you. Yes, sir, in the back, I heard that.
Yes, I'm Michael Rush. I'm a candidate for Pulaski County Judge, and I'm a real estate professional. I'm also a championship barbecue cook, so I'm trying to raise some money for my campaign. So if you're planning on having a watch party for the national championship of any sport, Super Bowl or whatever, if you want my services to make a donation, a contribution to the campaign, just send me after the meeting.
Yes, sir.
What is the last day to register to vote for March 3rd?
Should be within 30 days of the, if I'm not mistaken, of the election.
February 2nd.
February 2nd.
So, get out and register some people, get it done.
Yes, you have until then if you want to vote in the March 3rd elections. Well,
I move we adjourn.
I was about to say that. Motion adjourned and seconded. All in favor, say aye. All right, we are adjourned.
Your new job. Thank you.
Okay, folks. Well, that concludes the meeting. We had a lot of guest speakers who did a lot of talking about what's going on. I'm trying to do a commercial here, not quite able to do it. Oh, I have to move expand. All right, you've probably noticed Rumble is growing fast and it's not slowing down. They're building a real alternative to big tech that puts creators first and actually protects free speech. And now there's Rumble Premium. It's an easy way to upgrade your experience. With Premium, you get ad-free viewing across the platform, no pre-rolls, no interruptions, just the content you came for. Plus, Premium members unlock exclusive content like bonus videos, behind-the-scenes drops, and more from your favorite creators. Right now, Rumble's offering $10 off annual subscription. Go to rumble.com Premium and use the promo code STUDIO at checkout. That's rumble.com Premium, promo code STUDIO. No ads, more freedom, and content you actually care about. That's the deal. All right, I think I gotta wait a little bit for the next ad. Folks, trying to find a way to get involved, you can click the links that I have in the description where you can do this. I'm still trying to figure out how to find people on Discord, and I'm having difficulty doing it. If you have a Discord account, just send the actual link to your account to me, because I used Discord for a little bit and I stopped, and it's like you try to find people, and I honestly have had some problems finding people. But folks, I've got to shut down. I've had a long way. This, of course, is not my main career. Sure, absolutely. Absolutely. I believe so, yeah. Yes, find a way to get involved, whether it's in a small committee meeting, find out what's going on. We have a long way to go to fix, of course, the Republican Party. This is, of course, the main supermajority party, so if you want things done to get fixed, this is the party where it does it. We're the supermajority in the House, and in the Senate, we have a Republican governor, but there's lots that needs to be done. We can get rid of the income tax. We can get rid of these crooked globalist organizations like the Arkansas Association of Counties, the Municipal League, the Chamber of Commerce, and these other organizations that ruled for decades and ruined Arkansas when they ran the Democrat Party. Sadly, some of their consultants run the Republican Party, but if we can kick them out, we can make this a better place. Follow me at Just the Right Angle. I'll try to give updates on what's going on ways that things that affect you and what you can actually do about it. Again, your local community is a lot more important than what's going on when Minnesota, Somalis are getting fraud. I guarantee you something like that is happening in your own backyard. But anyway, I'm going to end this. You all have a good day, and we will see you later. Remember, when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. When the wicked rule, the people groan.